I have been playing Doom 2016 and I'm very happy about it. This game was fantastic, like I really don't have much to pick here. So instead of me being critical, I just want to gush about this game and maybe suggest some things that would have been cool to see in this game. I mean, I will of course be starting off with one or two minor issues that I had run-ins with, but apart from those, I'd just be really gushing about this game. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, let's start this off by saying this. id Software, fucking well done, mate. This game was so smooth to play. Its flow was just surreal. Look, I don't have the best computer system here right now, but even then, I ran this on 100 FPS constant with close to no dips. It's just insane how they can even get a game to run that well. Truly, it has shown that they're masters in game development even after all these years. I mean, all other AAA studios could only hope to achieve this level of optimization when we are having constant releases of buggy, unfinished garbage that could not even run on a rocket engine. You see what I'm saying? This game makes me cry at the fact that if game studios puts in as much effort as these guys, we all could be running Crysis at maximum graphics. But this section of the video is named General Issues and not General Merits. Look, I know how hard the Doom fanbase can be for the slightest criticism at their little baby. I get it. But the fact is, I had run into some issues that I just have to mention here. One of the issues that I ran into was clipping. So, this game is all about movement and how freely you can maneuver around a given arena. Like, the game literally says, "Hey you fucking idiot, stop sitting around and maybe you won't die as much." So, for a game that considers movement as crucial as this, something like getting stuck on the edge of a protrusion on the ground or getting blocked by a minuscule edge on the wall can be very frustrating. The other issue that I ran into was this funny bug which involved this hovering bot which lets you buy weapon mods for your guns. In one instance, it was scripted to run across the arena before you could get to it, but I basically rushed to it and accessed its menu. So what ended up happening was, instead of the mod bot just stopping in its tracks since the player has access to its menu, it basically took me across the arena while Doom Guy was just flying mid-air. Obviously, this is not an issue that you just run into. I had to try to get this to happen. And besides, I did have a good laugh when this happened anyways. But what was not a good laugh though was the pace of my rips and tears being broken by the likes of a metal container. Literally, I just got stuck inside a container due to clipping and I had to restart a whole section. Basically, I was just running around busting demons and the next thing you know, Doom Guy was just stuck inside this container. I tried jumping out of it. I tried to see if I could glory kill a demon and phase through the container, but no. Had to restart. This was annoying, but to be fair, it was just a one-off thing. I did not have it happen anymore, and besides, I think the game's general optimization and performance was just way too good that if I were to score this game, I would not deduct anything for it. Oh yeah, I also had a fair bit of popping of textures, but that might be due to me just running my game off my hard drive. Thought I'd mention that. Okay, that's it. General criticism over. You can stop the dislike bombs now. to like about this game? Everything. I mean, it's just pure concentrated carnage fun. Just try to rip as many demons as you can. That's the game. And it's so fun, especially when you have flow going where you're just running around the arena, jumping up and down while placing very accurate shots on the demons. It's especially satisfying when you can kinda get a chain going. And that's where the 2016 reboot excels at. It has all these different mechanics like the chainsaw, the BFG 9000, glory kills, runes, suit upgrades, etc. combined with a really good roster of weapons that feel meaty and very impactful when firing them. It's just pure gory fun. The game is super challenging too. I played this on Hurt Me Plenty difficulty, which is a medium difficulty, and had my ass whooped at many points. But there was a point when I felt like Hurt Me Plenty was not it. But when I turned it up to Ultra Violence, it was just too much for me. Ultra Violence was kinda way too strict with how I played the game and kinda required me to coordinate and time my attacks in a much more specific way. So I thought to myself that maybe I required another difficulty which was between Hurt Me Plenty and Ultra Violence to hit that challenging but not outright brutal balance. But as it turns out, obviously that was not the case. The game takes its sweet time to kick into the 5th gear. I had to reach the first hell level to be finally hurt plenty. And it makes sense because other than gameplay, this game does not have much story-wise going on here other than combat. The story kinda happens in the backstage to a point that if the gameplay was not trickled in like it was, the game would have run out of steam. Again, it knew exactly what they were doing here. Each time I had a criticism for it, 2 seconds later it just seemed to rectify it real time. The game is like 10 to 12 hours long, and during that time, you'd be facing challenges that increases incrementally. You're also rewarded humbly by things like weapons, equipments, upgrade points, and runes. You can also go out and explore the levels to get things like collectible figures and classic Doom levels that you could play through. This clearly shows that it knew the exact audience who would be playing their game. Obviously, if you're like a story kinda guy, I don't know if this game might be for you. But Doom does provide lots of codex entries and story logs that you could read upon for hours if you're into this. Personally, I don't care much about the story because that's not what the game is about. I was in it for the classic arena style combat, and this game delivers it. After like each level, I had to go outside, take a deep breath, go for a long walk, and breathe in all the fresh grass and come back to play more. Each levels can sometimes be very tense and can be too much for someone like me who only play arena shooters casually. Personally, I would not recommend playing this game after a long day of stressful work. It's more of a game that you can play over the weekend or something where you're super chill and needs a little bit of spice in the monotony. The game is super gory and super death metal with heavy rock music. It takes place mainly on Mars and Hell, where you phase through both of them here and there. And both of those areas are very well realized. Amidst all the carnage, you get these instances of you just walking around with a landscape view in front of you. Kinda like Resident Evil 8, where the game knew exactly what art style it was going for and how each angle of the level should look. Maybe not to that extent, but it is here for a game that's main focus is on pure gameplay. Great attention to detail. Again, shows you that it knew what they were doing here. So yeah, that's all there is from me. I know I have not added anything new or interesting to the conversation, but that's mainly because, well, I don't have any. I have not really played the original Doom like many folks. Maybe like the first few chapters and that too on the easy difficulty, but not the whole game. So I would be categorized more on the newer audience side of things as far as a reboot goes for such a classic game. I personally think this was the best direction to go after 1992. Like, in most ways, this game adds just much more depth and definition to the original game. I could list them, but really, the review is over. I'm personally still salty about the optimization. I feel like I have been spoiled here that I cannot play any other games now. It's just too good. Anyways, I clearly have faith in id Software, and especially in a time when even the highest of game dev studios seems to have fallen from their grace, I still can bet on it. I am aware of Doom Eternal. I don't know if I would be playing that game though, because just the general talks about it tells me it has invented a genre on its own just called Doom Eternal, where it requires a specific playstyle in a specific manner. And I don't know, I don't feel like I could do the game justice, especially when you consider that that game is twice as long as this game. Clearly, the Doom games are too much for me, and I feel like, at least for now, I had my fair slice of pie from that gory cake. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna end this review now. I mean, obviously, I gotta end this review with the punchline and stick in the Doom main menu OST, right? So, I don't know. Rip and tear?